Hello everyone, welcome to my March 2020 Country Craft Creations design team project. I'm going to be creating a 10 by 10 album this month with more complicated pages. So for the album cover, you're going to need 2 pieces of the medium weight chipboard that measure 10 by 10, one that measures 2 by 10, and then I'm using the white artesian cardstock to wrap the album with and for the pages of my album. Okay, so first thing we need to do is just attach our pages or our chipboard down, and my cardstock here, I've got 2 12 by 12 pieces that I've attached right here with some 3/8 score tape, and then I've got one 12 by 6 piece that I've attached over here with some 3/8 cardstock, or sorry, tape. So I'm going to start by attaching one of my pieces of 12 by 12 chipboard in the corner here. And I know that I usually start with the spine, but just because of how the layout is of the pieces that we've attached together, I prefer to start with this piece in the corner here. So I'm going to attach it till there's about 1 inch all on 3 sides of it here, just like this, and try to attach it as straight as you can. All right, and then I will attach my spine next to that piece, and my spine again measures 2 by 10, and I'm going to attach it about 1/8 of an inch from my previous piece of chipboard, just like this. You don't want to go too far away and you don't want to go too close, so about 1/8 is perfect. All right, and then we will attach the other one the same distance away from our spine piece, and I'm just using Fabri-Tac glue here. And the reason why, I do get questions why I use Fabri-Tac a lot actually, and I use it because I just really like the glue, because it doesn't, I know it's a fabric glue, but I just like it because it doesn't show through to the other side of my paper, it doesn't bubble, and it stays wet just long enough that I can move it a little bit, but it's not it doesn't stay wet so long that it, I have to wait very long for it to dry. So that is why I use it. All right, so again, staying about that 1/8 of an inch between our pieces of chipboard there. All right, so now we have quite a bit left over here, so I'm going to trim that off about 1 inch away, and then we can use that later on in our project. Just like that. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and just burnish down my chipboard, just like so. Just make sure you don't move it when you're burnishing it. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up around. So the paper, our inch sections, we're going to wrap up around our chipboard. And I just like to start by slowly bending it up, breaking the fibers, and then I bend it over just with my fingers at first, and then with my bone folder, just like so. All right, so we're just going to do that on all 4 sides. All right, so now that we've got all of our pieces wrapped up around our chipboard, all of our cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and attach my 3/8 score tape on all 4 sides of my chipboard and all 4 sides of my cardstock. Okay, so now that we've got all of our tape attached, we're going to go ahead and give it a good burnish. Once we've got the tape burnished down, we're going to cut across right here. We're going to cut right across here, leaving about 1/8 of an inch between the chipboard and our cardstock, just so we're able to cover our corners. So just about that much, and I'm going to go ahead and do that on all 4 sides. Once you've got all of those corners cut out, we're going to go ahead and remove 2 of our short sides of the backings of our score tape, and then 1 long side, and then 1 long side on our cardstock, just like that. And since we have already burnished our paper down, it's going to go right where we want it to go, just like so. Alright, and then we're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. So remove 1 of the backings of the long side of the chipboard, and then 1 of the cardstock. And just bend that up, starting in the middle, and then just smooth it out. Alright, so now we are going to do this side here. Just bring it down nice and flat, just like that. And then finally we'll do this one over here, and just bring that down nice and flat. Alright, so now we've got those down, we can go ahead and give it a good burnish all the way around. Alright, so now that we've burnished down those sides, we just need to finish by adding our spine hider piece here. So I'm going to attach tape, the 3/8 of an inch tape, all along the inside of my spine, on both sides of my spine, and around all 4 sides of my spine hider piece. And the spine hider piece measures 4 1/4 by 9 3/4. So now that we've got all our tape on, we're going to go ahead and give it a good burnish, and then we'll remove the backings. But I want you to note that I did not go all the way to the top or bottom with my tape here, because my spine hider piece is not 10 inches, it's 9 3/4. So we've removed all the backings, and now we are going to attach our piece down, making sure to try to keep it even side to side and top to bottom, just like that. So once you've got it down, you can go ahead and give it a good burnish with your bone folder, just like that. Alright, and now we can start to slowly bend it up from the side, and I just like to run across a bit with my bone folder to find where my spine is. And then we'll just go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Alright, and then just kind of bring it in a little bit, and there is the cover of our book ready to go. So now let's get started on our pages. Okay guys, so let's get started with the pages for our album. So you're going to need 3 base pages, and the base pages measure 10 1/4 by 9 3/4, so 10 1/4 wide by 9 3/4 tall, and you're going to score on the 10 1/4 side at 1/2 inch and 1. So on the 10 1/4 side at 1/2 inch and 1, okay, and that is our base page. So you're going to need 3 base pages. So for page 1, it is going to have, all the pages actually will have a large pocket. Every page will have a large pocket. So the large pocket measures 10 1/4 by 9 3/4, and on the 10 1/4 side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch on each side. So I have already done that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove a little bit of my backing. So I basically want to line it up with this score line here. We can't go past that, because if we do, our page won't flip. So just get it lined up to where you want it. All right, and then once you have it where you want it, you can go ahead and remove the rest of that backing and just smooth it down. And then we can open it up, and I've already attached a piece of score tape across the bottom here so that it is closed. So I'll remove that, and then if you do have any hanging over, you can remove that. And then I will also remove the score tape from here and close that up. So we've already done all of our measuring and everything. Just make sure it goes down nice and flat. And then you're gonna smooth it at the bottom. You're gonna smooth it down at the bottom here. And then just give it all a nice little burnish, okay? So each page is going to have this large pocket as well. But for page 1, it is going to have a gatefold opening like this with some little corner pockets to keep it closed. So for this, you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 9 3/4 by 9 3/4. And what you're going to do, and I'd like you to follow this exactly, you're going to put it in, because it's square, so it doesn't matter which direction you're putting it in at first. Then you're going to score at 1/2 inch, okay? Then I want you to flip it in the scoreboard and score at 4 5/8. So first, score at 1/2 inch, and then flip it upside down and score at 4 5/8, okay? That's going to give you your perfect measurement here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach the one on this edge first, right on top of the pocket. So I've already added my score tape to my hinge, and I also did angle it just so it goes down nicer. So I'm just going to remove a little bit of my backing and try to close this up, and then I'm going to just line it up right on top of that pocket, and it should pretty much go right where we want it to. And then once you have it where you want it, just go ahead and peel the rest, and then just press it down, and then we can open it up and give it a good burnish. All right, and then we're just going to go ahead and attach the other side, but basically for this side, we are just going to butt it right up against this side. So it's the exact same measurements, except we folded it the other way. So just remove a bit of that backing, peel it back, and then like I said, we're just going to line it up right with the other piece. All right, and then once we have it where we want it, you can go ahead and press that down and just remove the rest of the backing there, just like so. And then we can go ahead and burnish that down. Give it a good burnish down. All right, now it's going to open like this, but I do want to add magnets in here just to keep it closed a little bit better. So I've got my basic gray magnets here. And so they've already got the adhesive on the back. Just opening my package. All right, so I am going to pop out a negative and a positive. So there's my positive and my negative, and then you can just go ahead and let those snap together. And then we'll peel off the backing. And basically I'm just gonna put it down right in the center here, just like that. And then remove the backing. And then just make sure you close it up nice and flat. And then that's gonna help it stay down. We are gonna add the little pockets with the insert to help it stay down better. But just to be doubly sure, I wanted to add the magnets. So again, I've got a negative and a positive. Place it in the middle. And then we can go ahead and peel off the backing and close it up. So now they'll still open, but they're closed down to each other like that, okay? Now we're gonna add our pockets in the corners here that our insert's going to fit inside. So how we're gonna create our pocket is I've taken a piece of the white cardstock and I've cut it down to 5 by 5, and then I've scored at 1/2 inch all the way around my piece of 5 by 5 cardstock, and then I've already attached my tape, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut diagonally from this corner to that corner. All right, so I've cut them apart, so you're gonna get this. So what we're gonna do is fold in both of those sides. Then you're going to, with a scissor, just cut right across here, just like this, and then close it up, cut that off, close this side in, cut that off, and then the same thing for the other side. And the nicer you get it burnished down, I think the nicer it's going to lay. So we will just do that. All right, so again, we're just gonna cut right across here. Don't go all the way to the point, just right below that point. Close it up, cut across, and then the same thing over here. Get these out of the way. All right, now we are going to attach one in this corner like this and one in this corner like this. So again, we'll just remove a little bit of that backing. Sorry for the light here, guys. I hope it's not too distracting. Okay, so we're gonna put it right down in the corner, making sure to get it even on both sides as best as we can. All right, and then go ahead and remove that. And then we'll open it up and remove this side. And then just press that down. All right, and again, we'll give it a good burnish. All right, and then we'll do the other side here. So go ahead and remove a little bit of the backing up here this time. Bend it back. Line it up in that corner. Just like so. And then press it down. Then you can remove the rest of your backing. Open it up. Remove this backing down here. And then just go right ahead and close that down. All right, and again, we'll give it a good burnish. All right, so that is our cute little gatefold page. I do have an insert here to stick in just to show you how it'll stay closed. But that is so cute. the insert measures, just get my ruler, it measures 7 by, I think it's 8.5. So the insert measures 7 by 8.5. So that is going to look really nice when we finish it up and get all of our corners decorated. So for these corners here, I just want to show you guys how to cut those down. Alright, so to cover the corners, I just want to show you guys how to do your cutting for that. So you're going to take a square piece that measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you're going to again just cut it diagonally from one point to the next. It doesn't matter which one, just from one point to the next. And then just add your glue and just fit it right in there. Just makes it look nice and finished. And then the same for this side here. And you could even add another layer to it. You could even cut it down, like you could get a piece that's 3.5 by 3.5 and cut that diagonally as well and put another layer. I might actually do that. I just kind of grabbed for this blue because it was close. But if I want something that sticks out a little bit more, I might do that. Alright, so that is done. Looks really, really pretty. So now let's move on to the other side of page 1. Okay guys, so for page 2, you're going to need, I'm going to just take you through it in steps. So the first thing you're going to need is a piece that measures 5 inches wide by 9 3/4 tall. And on the 5-inch side, you're going to score it 1/2 inch, attach your score tape, and then you can snip your little ends there, okay? So on the 5-inch side, you're going to score 1/2 inch, okay? So then you're going to turn your paper this way, and you're going to mark from the 1/2 inch mark. Just make sure that's how I did it. Yes. From the 1/2 inch mark, like if this is folded over, you're going to measure down 2 inches. And on the other side, measure down 2 inches as well. And then you're going to find the center down here, which is 4 5/8. So you're going to mark your 4 5/8 there, and then you're 2 inches down from that score line there. Alright, so then you're going to need something, a cutting surface you can cut on, and a metal ruler, or one of those ones with a metal edge. And you're going to line up this end here and this end here so that we can make a cut from line to line. Alright, so once you've got it lined up, just go ahead and take your craft knife and cut down. Alright, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, just like so. Might need to go over it twice. Alright, so now you've got a shape like this. So now you're going to need a piece of pattern paper that measures 9.5 by 4 1/4. So 9.5 long by 4 1/4 wide, okay? And you're going to mark down from the top. So if you have a directional paper, make sure you're marking it from the top down. You're going to mark 1 3/4 inches down and 1 3/4 inches down on the other side. You're going to find your center, which is 4 3/4. So you're going to mark 4 3/4 in the middle, and then you're going to mark 1 3/4 inches down on both sides. And then we're going to do the exact same thing where we line up our corners and we cut across, or sorry, our lines, not our corners. So cut across, and then we're going to do the same thing here. Sorry if you can't really see my lines because of the paper, but I promise they're there. Alright. Good. And then we're just gonna cut up. Again, depending on your angle, you might need to go at it twice. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and glue that in here. And so once you've got your pattern paper glued on, you're going to need some sort of a foam that you can poke into. All right, and then you're also gonna need a small circle die cut or punch, and that's gonna go right here. And then you're gonna need also a pokey tool. So basically we're gonna poke through our circle and through both layers of our paper. Just kind of carefully get through them both. And then you are going to need a brad. I'm using white brads. So just stick it through, then bring it out. And then we just need to open these ends, just like so. Make sure it's nice and flat. And then you can go ahead and use the same method that we used to create this piece of paper and get one for the back so it covers that brad in the back there. All right, so now this piece is done. So we're gonna go ahead and work on the piece for the bottom. So this piece here measures 9 by 9 3/4, and on the 9-inch side you're gonna score it 1/2 inch, just like this. And I've already attached my score tape and just angled my corners. So again, it's directional paper, so I'm gonna put it on in this direction here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue that on, and this piece of pattern paper measures 9.5 by 8 1/4. So I'm just gonna get it glued down. All right, so once you have that paper glued on, we are going to go ahead and attach it onto our page, just like this. So we can go ahead and remove a tiny bit of that backing, just like so. Bend it back, and then just line it up almost all the way to the score line, but not going past it. All right, and then once you have it where you want it, you can go ahead and press that down and pull back the rest. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna open that up and attach our top piece here. This piece is going to go at the top across here. So again, go ahead and remove a little bit of your backing, and then line it up. And then once you have you where you want it, just go ahead and press it down and pull out the rest of that backing, and then give it a nice press down right there. All right, so now we need to close this up, and we need to mark where we want our next little circle to go so we can do our string closure. So I think about right there would be cute. So I'm just making a little mark right there with my pencil. And then I'm gonna take the foam and put it under there, just in the general area of where it is. And I'm gonna take my little circle and put it right on top of that and just poke it through, just like so. And stick another brad in there. Right, and then once you have it poked through, go ahead and open it up and just open those backs, just like so. And you can use anything really, just to make sure you get them nice and flat. All right, so now we can close it up again, just like so. So now you're gonna take your string, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it under the top one here, and I'm gonna make a knot going, well, maybe I'll need a little bit more string. I'm gonna make a knot going this way, just like that. And then I'm gonna make another knot on the other side, just so that it is mostly even, just like that. Then I'm gonna trim it off, stick it under, And then I'll cut off a little bit more just so I can get an idea of what I need. And then you're gonna wrap it like this. And you can either go like this, so kind of a little bit more file folder style, like that, which I do like that look, or you can take it up and cross it like that. Either way is good. I think I am gonna go just straight up and down because I like that look. And you can wrap it as many times as you want. I think I'm just gonna go with once and cut it off right there. So that is our cute little file folder page. So that is page 1 and 2 finished. So now let's get to work on page 3. Okay, so for page 3, we are again going to need our base page, which remember measures 10 1/4 by 9 3/4, and you score at 1/2 inch and at 1. And then I've already attached a large pocket on top that measures 10 1/4 by 9 3/4, and I've scored at 1/2 inch on both sides, and I've also attached some tape to the bottom, and I've attached that just like we did on the first page. So for this page, you're going to need a sheet of your cardstock that measures 11 by 11 1/2. And on the 11 1/2 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch all the way down. Okay, so on the 11 1/2 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch all the way down. Then you're going to flip it in your scoreboard so that your 1/2 inch is on this side now, and you're going to score at 5 1/2. So 5 1/2 right here, then flip it like this and score at 5 1/2 down, okay? So what we need to do now is we need to remove this little section here, and I'm just going to go ahead and angle it in like that, and we're going to just cut up and remove that whole section just like so. Alright, so we've removed that, and then we also need to remove this whole square here. So the square that's opposite to our hinge here, we need to remove that whole square very carefully. Just down to that score line there. And then over like this. Alright. Just like that. And now what we need to do is we need to fold this one over this way. Just try to line it up. And then we'll give it a good score or a good burnishing. Alright, and then this whole section is going to fold down. Just like this. Again, just make sure to try to line it up as best as you can. Just like this. Woo. My bone folder's trying to escape. And give that a really nice tight burnish. Alright, and then down here, you'll see there's some overhang. So we're just going to go ahead and just clean that right up with our scissors, just like that, okay? And then you're going to fold back your little score line here, and I've already attached my tape to it. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish it here, or sorry, not burnish it, do a nice little angle cut there as well. All right, and then before I attach it, just trying to decide if I want to do my magnet before or after. I think I'll do it after. So let's just go ahead and remove the backing here. Just a little bit of it. And then you can line it up wherever. I think I'm just going to center it right along the front of my page here. So do your best to center it. All right, and then remove your backing. And then again, Give it a good burnish down. Okay, so we're going to start by putting one magnet here, face down. Let's peel off that backing. So we're just going to put it right there. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and snap one to this. What's this one? Yep. So just put it right on top of that and then give it a good burnish. All right, and then I think I want one more magnet here. So let's just see. All right, so just let it snap to the one underneath and then bring it down just like this and let it catch, open it up, and then we'll close this one and close this one down, and then that keeps it all nice and closed. So it'll open up like this and then like this and close down, and then it'll open like that. All right, so now let's work on the other side of page, so this is technically page 4. So for page 4, we're gonna do a stacked pocket. So I've used the envelope punch board to create this fun shape here. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So you're gonna need one piece first that measures 10 1/4 by 8. And you're gonna score it 1/2 inch on both sides to create your little attaching flaps. And then you will punch in at 2 inches from both sides, but I'm gonna show you how to do that on the other one. So that's the first one you're gonna need. And then your second pocket is gonna measure 10 1/4 by 4. So you're again gonna score at 1/2 inch on both sides. Just gonna attach my score tape really quick. Just like so. All right, so you're gonna do your 1/2 inch and then add your score tape, and then you're gonna get your envelope punch board. And with the punch board, you are going to line up this edge here. So you're gonna fold under, or you can leave it open, but just line up this score mark with the 2 inches. So just like this, line it up with the 2 inches there, that score mark. Okay, and are gonna punch right there, and then just flip it over, and again, line that up with the 2 inch, and give it a good punch. All right, now you're just gonna grab your cutting surface and your metal ruler, and we are just gonna take and line up those 2 valleys with our metal ruler, just like this, and then you're gonna need your craft knife. I'm really enjoying this Fiskars one. And then just cut across. All right, so that's how you're gonna get that fun shape right there. And so I've already done that as well for my pattern paper. But for the pattern paper, you're gonna take the edge and you're gonna line it up at 1 3/4, just so you get that 1/4 inch border around the whole thing. So you're gonna line it up at 1 3/4, punch, turn it, line it up at 1 3/4, punch. Okay, so first, let's get our pockets attached to our page. So we're first going to attach the large one, which remember measures 10 1/4 by 8. And you're gonna go ahead and score it 1/2 inch on both sides. And you're also going to attach some score tape at the bottom, okay? So let's go ahead and just remove a little bit of that backing. just like so, and I'm just going to go ahead and line it up with the front of my page, as far front as I can go. And then I will press down here and remove that backing, just like this. And then go ahead, open it up, remove the backing down here and this backing. And then we're just going to go ahead and fold that down nicely. Give it a good burnish, just like that. All right, and then we can attach the other one on top. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of my 3/8 score tape at the bottom. You can use 1/4 inch here if you want a little bit more space, but I am okay with that. So again, we will just go ahead and remove a bit of the backing from this side here. Line it all the way up to the front of this pocket. And then you can just press, oops, went crooked for a second. And then you can just press down over here and remove the bottom here and this flap here. And then we'll just close it right down. And then again, you can go ahead and just burnish that nicely. All right, now we can go ahead and attach our pattern papers. So this one measures 9 by 6. So on the 9-inch side, we again measured in 1 3/4 and 1 3/4 and punched, and we cut it out just like we did for the other one. So we will go ahead and attach this. And then this one measures 9 by 3 3/4. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. So we've done pages 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we've also done our album cover. So I'm gonna stop the video here, and we'll do page 5 and 6 and the inside, front, and back covers in the second video. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for the video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it's going well for you. Of course, the cutting list is below, so you can already be ready for that second video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and leave me a comment. I love those as well. And I'll see you guys in part 2.